What's up, basketball you? Thank you for tuning in as you always do. You already know what to do: like, comment, and subscribe to the channel as we continue to provide different content for you here on Basketball U. Make sure you share it with somebody and let them know what we're doing as we continue to try to grow the knowledge for those who are not able to find it where they are everywhere in the world, right? The basketball message isn't always given to everybody. So, as you know, this series is just on the start of things, and I want you to have an insight on a winning basketball team. So if you started to just view the channel and you've seen us for training, I want you to check out what's going on here with this basketball team. Now, it's going to be a photo journal. It's going to be some video, and then it's going to be some audio in there as time rolls on and it picks up a little speed. But we are in day 3, and this is the Art of Sport Open Gym with Clovis West. Now, the honeymoon stage is over. And when I say that, that means you realize as a basketball player, the AAU type basketball portion of how you were playing from the beginning of, let's say, May to roughly, I would say mid-September, almost end of September, you were able to kind of freelance your game. Most coaches that have their high school teams that aren't the coaches of their AAU teams, not speaking on any particular schools, I'm just saying that now coaches are a part of their AAU teams more, and now you're able to kind of coach your guys or your main guys, and typically that's like keeping that team together basically at a high level, which is great for the kids, and there's a lot of improvement there. But again, it's still a little bit more free than the structured play that's happening right now. And so for day 3, what we do here is typically now we start breaking things up to where we're going to keep some stats, and we're going to kind of let you know what you're actually doing instead of what you think you're doing. And I think it's a very important piece for kids to see that visually instead of just being told verbally, so that they're not upset with that person telling them. Again, it's never to bash players. It's never to degrade a player and make them feel like they're not good. It's just more of a reality check because of everything that's going on in the world of just good basketball. There's no such thing as bad basketball. And we know we have to be the gatekeepers of bad news. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there's a lot of bad basketball going on right now. And so we've got to reel our guys in and let them know, look, some of it is okay when the game allows it. And so when you understand that your abilities that you have used during the AAU season and that freelance portion of your game, there is a time for it when the game allows. And so hopefully when that time comes, you have the ability to have success in that moment, okay? But as of right now, winning basketball is A, B, and C of what we have categorized to them on their daily plan of what we're trying to get better at each day. And so really working with the young guys, because it's hard for the younger guys to separate that, and that is my role. And right now what I've done is I've stepped in to play with the guys so they can kind of see what it is that I'm talking about. So sometimes it's a little bit easier to show them than just to tell them. And I'm telling you, it's not easy to do it. And when I say it's not easy to do it, I'm not saying I don't have the skills to do it. I'm saying my body is not going to allow me to show them at the highest level. So you have to work on trying to show them the limited amount of mistakes that you can make, what the easy pass is, and I can go down a long list of what basketball things you have to do in order to get them to kind of agree with you when they see that it makes the game easier. And the last part of the honeymoon stage is when I say it's over. As far as the AAU portion, I'm also talking about the portion of the individuality aspect of basketball, right? What are my numbers going to be this year? What is my stat line going to look like? What accolades am I going to get? Am I going to be ranked? Am I performing well enough to play for a high-level program in AAU, whether it's the circuit or a team that's sponsored or whatever the situation may be that's going to give you, the individual, the exposure. We now have to reel that in, that idea of it's okay to want to have the idea of being the man, right? But within the team concept. And when we say the team concept, we're talking about offensively what your abilities are and what you're good at, not what you're attempting to try to be good at, okay? And there's two differences there. And what we want to do is we just want to make sure like these things are embedded into our players, because outside influences always cause the determining factor on whether they want to commit to what is being said. Currently, we don't have games to prove what we're saying is right. The last game we played was in September sometime, end of September, beginning of October, and now all we have is scrimmages against each other and the last couple of practices that we went through, right? So when you have that, it's not the official game. So whatever was happening in those games, they kind of got away with certain things and they might have dominated in a game. Whatever it is, it's easier to show and tell when our scrimmages against other teams happen and then when our games start to happen, because that is what counts. That is what they're seeing on a consistent basis, and that's what everyone else is seeing. So in this honeymoon stage, the goal for us is to continue that message as I've explained through this episode. And I want you to know that the hardest part is building team chemistry early to continue to progress throughout the year, to not necessarily be your best, but to play well enough to fix your mistakes to be as good as you can be at the end of the year. There's a word I was looking for, but I kind of lost it there. But as far as you guys tuning in, I appreciate you. I'll pick up the intensity of it a little bit more, but it's just more about me discussing what it is, the mindset of this team who has had so much success over a period of time, and what happens on the daily, what is said to the players, and just how positive that the staff can be with, again, the players, with each other, to build a cohesive family and unit that is all trying to accomplish one goal. And remember, that goal isn't to win a championship. That is part of it, but there's so much more, as this game is bigger than basketball. And so many things happen on the daily. We just have to make sure we're there for each other. Basketball U, I would like to be here for you as well. Make sure you keep tuning in. Hope that this is interesting enough for you to listen to. It's kind of like a podcast, but I don't like calling it that. I want to call it a daily journal, okay? And I would like it to be some photo ops so you can kind of get a glimpse of not just the practice aspect, but what the daily of it all looks like. All right? Basketball U, thank you for tuning in as you always do. This is The Art of Sport Open Gym with CW. I'm out. And remember, someone's always working. Are you?